One day I'm going to get that timed up right. Welcome in, folks. Welcome in, folks. We are live. You are looking live at the Fire Zone Show Film Study Edition, College Prospect Film Study Edition. We've done some of these before with NFL players, but this might be our first time with a college prospect.
Yeah,
I think
and
so.
my first eyes on Mr. Devin Lloyd. So I'm excited to see this for the first time myself.
There you go. And so now if you're just clicking in, if you're just tapping in, that's the player we're going to be checking out tonight. Utah linebacker Devin Lloyd. Um, you know, one of those linebackers off the ball, inside backers, however you want to term it, uh, projected to go in the first round this year. Him and Nakobe Dean from Georgia are both kind of in that mix. We're going to take a look at Mr. Dean in a separate film session because both of these games that we're watching, and these are clipped to some extent because the overall game itself was more like 43, 44 minutes. This one is still 38 minutes, even being kind of cut up, and so we didn't want to put two of those in the same session. So we're gonna split Mr. Dean out to another session. But yeah, before we get into Mr. Lloyd, proper introductions. Uh, as always, joined by Denard Melton at the Fire Zone Show. I'm your humble co-host, Mike Crawford. Go by MC at Abukari on Twitter. Denard, I know this is a position that's near and dear to your heart. How you doing, man?
I am excited to watch. Hopefully, someone who I have read about that is very talented and maybe a little bit underrated in terms of where he played in the Pac-12. And people look at competition, and sometimes that fools you. So I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to plug back in some football because today I took a look at the news like I never do, and all I saw was somebody had been flushing papers down the toilet in the White House.
I saw that too.
And just recently, my man just walked out of the White House with some boxes that said classified. So I'm good. I'm unplugged back from that and enjoy some sports.
Yeah, it's as bad as you think it is. I mean, there is good news out there for sure, but we know mainstream media is going to go with the negative stuff, or if it bleeds, it leads kind of stuff. But there is good news out there.
There's always good news, but that's just ridiculous.
I'm not a big mainstream news watcher. I kind of pick and choose my news because that stuff, like I say, you get whatever they want you to see, or whatever story they want to run with. Which, I mean, in some cases, if it's big national or global stories, that's cool. But if you're looking for some more specific stuff or just a different perspective on stuff, we're living in an age where, man, you can get your news from almost anywhere. And obviously you got to vet some of that, but you can. It's not like it used to be where it was like a handful of news channels and well. I won't go down that road. Anyway, people on a history lesson.
They don't know about the early '80s, mid '80s.
I gotta remember my demographic. I gotta remember my demographic. Man.
Yes, they don't understand dial tones and dial up and what a phone actually looks like. Anyway.
We were talking about that. See, now you got me going. Now we were talking about that the other night, and I was trying to remember the last time I was in somebody's house that had a corded phone, like on the wall or on a table with a cord.
I got one for you. I went down to North Carolina this past summer to my Aunt Ray's house, and she's 92, 93 and lives in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. So I did see a cord phone in the house.
Own cord where you can go from one room to the other.
Yes, of course. She still cooks. So that means she got to move.
Gotta go. Yeah, you
She
gotta
got to
go.
move. She still got to move. Still got to get the room to room. Got to make sure you got to watch the right store. It's all there. We good. That's the last time. But that was the last time in like what? Probably since early 2000s.
You can get all wrapped up in them super long cords.
Oh my goodness. That was wild. That was a wild time.
There's the history lesson for today. Hey, let's get into Mr. Lloyd because we already said
Yes.
we got kind of a long watch here. Little quick background. I won't derail us too long, but just for people maybe learning about him for the first time. Um, we said played at Utah, listed on the school website. He was not at the any of the All Star games because he's listed as a junior, so he wasn't at Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, and he's projected to go high. So probably going to skip all of those. So take this listing with a grain of salt. You'll have to check it out at the combine to get official height weight. But he listed at 6'3", 235. Redshirt junior, came into Utah in 2017. That was his redshirt year. Then played the next four, 2018, 19, 20, 21. Ravens fans, yes, that's right. He was there. A little bit of overlap with Tyler Huntley. Tyler was the quarterback out there at Utah. So I think 19, I think they probably overlapped because Huntley before that, and then he left after 19. So they overlapped a little bit. But just on defense, because people might hear these numbers and say, "Oh, what if you left out special teams?" Right, I carved that out. But just in terms of defense, 35 games played with 22 starts. Played a ton of snaps. Over 1,400 snaps, over 400 against the run, over 200 as a pass rusher, and I think we might actually see him flash a little bit of that in this game. And then almost 800 in coverage. And even though I carved out the special teams, he played on special teams every year. Every year, like 3 or 4 units every year. I think the first year he played. No, it was the second year. The second year he played on all 5 units, but every other year he played on 4. So guys got a lot of special teams experience as well as you tend to see with linebackers. I mean, they kind of play on special teams. So a little background on him. I think I told you before the show started that in high school when he went to Otay Ranch out in California, he was a wide receiver and a safety and a punter. So, a little bit of background on Mr. Floyd. And of course, you can just Google his name and find all of the accolades. I mean, he was on a bunch of All-American teams this year. Defensive Player of the Year by the Associated Press, Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. So, just a decorated guy. Military family. Dad's been in the military for 26 years. So just a little quick background on Mr. Lloyd, and let's get into it. So again, this is the championship game, Pac-12 championship game this year. And like I said, this is cut up. So you may be looking at the screen right now. It's like, hey, how's it already 7-0 Utah? Remember, these are cut up. So it's not every single play. And the other thing, and I'll point this out when I see it. This is from a service. This is from a guy, Caddy's Cut-Ups, who does these A22 cut-ups. It's a subscription-based thing that you can pay for and get access to this stuff. It's pretty cool that he will try to identify these players with an arrow, but sometimes it's not the actual player. And so you got to pay attention to that part of it. We know Devin Lloyd he rocks the number 0. So we'll always be on the lookout for that. And if there's a couple on here where he's somewhere other than where that arrow points, I'll try to highlight that and say, hey, we're watching this guy right here. So there he is, number 0.
So I would say he's from my days in college. If they say 6'3", 6'1 3/4, possibly touching 6'2".
Okay.
I could be wrong on that.
He looks like a legit 6'1", 6'2". He could, he could be 6'3", but he looks like a legit 6'1", 6'2" for sure.
Already can tell he's much more aggressive in understanding his keys. He sees it, he's gone.
Yeah, that looked like a shoot drill.
Yeah, he saw daylight and was like, "Oh, that's mine." So I like that. Let's see where.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
yeah. Okay, see, and that's the right guy. There's a couple times when it's not, but you can also identify by the swag. He's got the little towel hanging out.
Mm-hmm. He is not afraid to go get it.
And he's got that black armband on his right arm. I always look at the swag. That's what helps me identify guys.
He yeah, he was wrong. If you want to roll that back,
Okay.
this is linebacker who understands what's going on. He was wrong, and he made himself right. Wrong, wrong, right, 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 right.
Now break that down a little bit because he's got two guys.
So he thought his brain went outside because he saw his keys, which was tackle opened. So he's like, okay, it looks like outside. And then the C's open. So he stepped too far outside. Their scheme, you can see their scheme. This is one gap's team. Everybody's got a gap. His gap is C gap right here. Or B gap, excuse me. And he jumped outside. But him being an athlete and him understanding his responsibility, he fights to get back inside to make the play.
Yeah. I see what you're
So
saying.
he has an understanding of what's going on. He's not just looking at it and reacting. It's all processing all at the same time.
And processing
Quickly.
Yeah.
This is a difference between a guy who's played 35 games, 22 starts, and Mr. Pastor Queen, who only has, 8 starts in college?
Yeah, I'd have to look him up.
Something like that.
It was less than
Yeah, and a season at linebacker. This guy has played linebacker for 4 years. So you're not seeing the hesitation. He believes and trusts his eyes. He understands the defense around him. That is it's night and day.
There he is in the middle.
Now I wouldn't mind if he stopped false stepping, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But his fundamentals are pretty decent. He does like to pop up a little bit, but once again, you can fix that. But he's also blitzing, so I'll give him that one. I do love that type of blitz, though. That's what we're probably going to see with McDonald. If you want to roll that back.
Okay, let's go back. Oh, wait a minute. That's in the right place. Here we go.
So these are the freeze it. So in essence, this is a underfront, but this is how you can get to a more solid blitz scheme, either in the 3-man front or a 4-man front. If you're in a 4-man front, you're solid across the board. And this is what McDonald does, is he protects all his gaps. He makes sure he has a body in a gap, body in a gap, body in a gap. What we saw with Wink would gamble with 2 guys in 1 gap, and hopefully you wouldn't find a gap there wasn't a guy that was at. And since that defense has been around for like 15 years, everybody knew what a gap was. So you really couldn't hide it. But this is McDonald probably with line stunts that are going to be more prevalent with the Ravens. A more of how Ray Lewis would attack in his blitz schemes, which are more direct at the quarterback and not so much trying to overload sides and create matchups. Your scheme of your defense, the basics of your defense, now allows players like Hutchinson for Michigan to just go play. Be an athlete. Go play football. You're not thinking. this is kind of part of that because you're not thinking line something one way, you go play football. You got B gap. Other than that, go play. You have no other responsibilities. Just simple as that.
Hey, you've talked about that all during this past season about the need to simplify things on defense so that guys can play faster.
Yep. Very important. I would like to see him use his hands more, but I think he really had an opportunity yet.
I think this is one of those pass rush snaps he got. Where they'll line him up on the edge and let him rush. So he's over there at kind of that trips, that bunch side.
Ooh, he does have some nice hands though.
Yeah, he gave
roll that back. Roll that back. He understands it. He gave that tackle a nice punch. Get off. Okay.
Yeah, gave him a little hezzy, a little long arm.
Yeah. Punched him square in his chest to give himself just enough room to work his hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We like it. We like it.
He's not just using his speed and athletic ability. He's putting it all together.
Yeah, he worked a little move. I mean, for an off the ball inside backer, that's he worked a little rush move.
Yeah. Let me see what his keys did to him here. Oh, he's fine.
Yeah, because
he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
Yep.
Because the next time if he doesn't do that,
they're gonna hand it off.
That back to me hitting his head on the goalpost.
Yeah, see those double teams inside. He steps through his gap. Yeah.
Yeah.
QB kept it. That's not his play.
Nope. Now, I will say this, if you want to roll that back. I'm not sure what his coaches have taught him this week with this, but if you get too strong double down, he shouldn't be getting caught in the wash by the tackle and the guard. He should be I don't know how they schemed it up that week. Because that block tells me that the outside backer needs to go all the way down.
Yeah.
I think they either had a game on or they decided to play it this week because they didn't feel like the quarterback would run a lot, which
I was going to ask you in that situation, that's probably not an ideal matchup having.
No, I would have, it would have been outside linebacker crash on the running back, linebacker looping to take the quarterback, and then I got my safety running the alley.
Yeah.
They just made it harder on themselves. I don't know if they were trying to mix it up with look, but they just made it hard on themselves.
Yeah, because I mean, you see that teams that play against the Ravens, almost everybody plays the scrape exchange on that.
Yeah.
You say where the outside backer DN goes down and a backer scrapes out on the cue. Okay, try another little.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's called blitz or
it's what I would call over smash fire in my defense, which is the middle linebacker is coming off the tail of the defensive end who's slanting down and having an outside blitzer to keep the contain. Now my issue is he needs to stay in his gap.
Yeah.
Keep gap integrity, because if he keeps gap integrity, there's not a passing lane.
Yeah. You can see when he goes in right here.
Yep. He stays outside, the quarterback's not going to throw that ball.
Yeah.
He's gonna pull it down, because now he's got face pressure. So you in essence, you gave him an out to throw the ball away, and you could have had a sack.
See it one more time. I think he thought he could beat that guard. Didn't work out.
No, but do your job.
You gotta do your job.
Literally the first piece of paper I handed out, people. Do your job. I don't care what the cat doing next to you. You do your job.
This is one of those plays I wanted to point out. Watch the arrow where it ends up. That's not Lloyd. Lloyd's the guy to the right of that guy.
he couldn't figure it out at that point.
Yeah, don't watch him. It doesn't happen a lot. There's a couple of times on here, because I did look at this one earlier, so I saw it a couple of times. But you'll be able to see it more clearly from this end. You can see number 0 versus number 5 or 6. I can't quite make out that number.
So Utah game plan basically was to confuse the Oregon offensive line. That's all they were doing. They are literally trying to confuse them, because I think they're smaller.
Okay, yeah, you can see some movement. All right, a little bit of line movement.
They got a little D tackle dropping into the hole.
Yeah. Lloyd coming. Both backers, actually. Lloyd and this. Well, I don't know if that's a backer or a DB,
but I think the tackle on this side screwed it up. No, he didn't. They just ran into the boundary. Weird. Okay. Always enjoy a good chess match.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you like to see. All right, now we're back. Now we got the right guy.
Let me see your pass drop.
This one. Time to go. To the house.
Ooh.
Taking that to the crib. I remember watching this one a couple times when I saw it earlier, because I wanted to see how quickly he saw it. And
he knows the route combination right now. He's looking it up right now.
Boom. Yeah,
his eyes roll that back. Watch from the very beginning of the play. He's already eyed him up. He already knows the route.
Right. He's looking to him right now.
He's looking dead at him.
Yeah, he's looking.
Skate.
And now look at he's gone.
Well, here's the thing. He knows. Here is why I'm a very big advocate of zone defense, which is why I think if the Ravens move more towards a zone-oriented defense, you have these opportunities to make plays like this.
Yeah.
Because everybody's in the same idea. Look at the spacing. This is beautiful. Like, this is a dream come true as a defensive coordinator. Like, he's not chasing. He's staying in his zone. He's ready to accept if this guy's going. Lloyd didn't overcommit as a Mike linebacker. He let the process unfold. That wide receiver wasn't crossing his face. Guess what? Settle and wait. Now he understands I'm going to go drive because that's the guy in front of me. Regardless if the ball's not being thrown, that's my guy.
Yeah, I'm driving on it.
I'm going to go get it. And that's just, as a linebacker, I love this because that's me. I feel like as soon as that receiver is settling, I want the football. Go get it. And his hands, I like him. I like the hands.
That's exactly what he did right there. He's already,
he's
going
breaking.
Foot. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, this is mine.
He's like, I'm baiting you because I haven't like completely committed.
Yeah, there was a little bit. You'll see it.
Look, right. Wait. Okay.
little bit of then go.
I gotta wait. Yeah.
But hey, you love to see that defense putting points on the board.
Mm-hmm. He understood pass defense. He understood the route combination coming at him. Studied.
Yeah. And we heard Harbaugh talk about that last week in his presser about just needing to make more plays on offense and defense.
Yeah.
And that's a big play right there.
I mean, we talked about all season the lack of turnovers, the lack of impact plays.
Yep. And this is the conference championship game. So, one of the things I always think about is it's not a line I came up with, but I've heard a lot of people say it is be your best when your best is required.
Absolutely. If you want to just kick that back real quick, that's him being, this is what I like to see. He's talking to his linebacker. He's going to tell him right here, no, go back.
Yeah.
Command, though. Command of what's going on and understanding what play you're going to get.
Yeah, you stay there.
You stay there.
Because if you stay there, you'll be in position if the ball comes to you. But if you come over here,
we all both in trouble.
Yeah, we're going to vacate over there. That ain't going to work.
Go find 3, talking to him about the drag.
You can see it there, too. Directing it. But a guy who's played, 5 years there at Utah. Yeah.
Understands what's going on. It's I love it. You're talking. Okay, here we go.
And even when we're still talking.
Look, drag. I got this crosser. Go make play.
Yeah. Hey, I know you've heard it. Good defense is a loud defense. You're out there talking.
Loud. I don't care. I don't care they know we're coming. I don't care where we're coming from. Talk about it.
Yep.
Didn't chase. But we got to run to the football.
Yeah. That's something I think you will see a couple times on here. A couple times I noted where he changes speeds. And, that's – I mean,
it comes with being a college player because he's playing special teams. So there would be certain plays that, you gear down.
Yeah. And they said, I've heard the Ravens say that. I don't know if it was Wink or Harbaugh. It might have been Harbaugh. He talked about that with guys like LJ Fort. He specifically said what you just said. When guys play that much on special teams and then we got them playing on defense too, sometimes, there are going to be some plays where we're okay with them, like you said, gearing it down a little bit because they run so much.
Yes.
And he's like, you gotta save your legs when you can when you're playing that many snaps.
Especially when injuries hit. So it's just like, I need you full speed on special teams. I do need you full speed on defense, but there's certain plays that you can get away with it. Just got to be smart about it.
There, he's just giving a little show. Just to hold those guys' eyes.
Yep.
In the center.
Let's check.
And they get him. And that's what was that 3-man? 3-man.
But it's a game. He was the fourth rusher.
Yeah, but he didn't have to. Yeah.
He was just the spy guy on whatever the 3rd and long or whatever.
Yeah,
but these are the games we're going to see that we have missed a lot here in Ravens world.
Yeah, and see, to your point, if you sit back and you got, you're solid in your zone, you can run those games up front, and there's nowhere to go.
Nope. But you can't run games in man coverage or single high because the ball's coming out quick.
Ball's coming out.
So all these individuals who want to talk about the pass rush need to look at the scheme, because the scheme was the problem, not the players. Because if you are always in a single high safety and blitzing 35% of the time, okay, you're going to get what you get, and you're not going to be able to rush. And the times you do rush are just going to be straight rushes because you don't know if you're getting a screen or something because of how much you blitz. And the worst thing as a defensive coordinator you ever want to be in is in a game and they run a screen. that is an ugly thing to watch on tape.
It'll be like who was that game? Was that the Colts game?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it happens. It definitely happens.
Don't get caught running games. Oh my goodness. Against a screen team. Make your soul hurt. Here's where that gets them in problems with the way they had the option set up for this game. I'm not sure why they did it.
You see Oregon came back to it.
Yep. Because it puts you in this bind. They got the rotation safety. They're good there.
Yeah, and see what's cool about this is they added. I mean, it's basically still a pitch, but it's more like a throw, but it's technically still a pitch. But like you said,
because now he's gonna bury himself, and you're taking your best player out of and making it an easy block for the tackle. He should be wider, like literally a step or two wider, because then he won't get cut off.
Yeah, because now here on the edge, you're a man short.
Yep.
You got nobody for the quarterback.
Yep.
You had to choose between the quarterback or the pitch. Chose quarterback, and pitch was open. So, good offense.
Yeah.
Oregon come back to that.
He literally needs to be stacked on that 3 technique.
Yeah,
and he won't get blocked.
Instead of shaded inside like that.
Yep.
I guess he's a gap player on that side, but
then he needs to make a call.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. They're going to come back to that.
Should be, yeah. They need him, make a cat call. That's what we call. Just to clear up the mess in front of yourself.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Option always throws people for a loop. They try to get too fancy.
Don't we know it? We've been watching it up here as Ravens fans for.
You don't need to get fancy against the option. Because then you get this start to happen to you.
Yeah, they start getting a little success with it.
Yeah, now you're going to see a whole bunch of it. Now you're going to see speed option.
Now, see, like you said, back to the chess match. Now, will Utah adjust to the adjustment?
Well, they did there, but they're still outnumbered because they pulled themselves. What are we doing?
He's on the edge there next to the DN.
Oh, they're playing games. But if you're going to be – this is the cardinal rule as a linebacker. If you're up here and you're supposed to bluff and you get caught, stay. Go. Now he's going to step back. Now he's in no man's land. And you also need to see where the running back is lined up. He is 1 yard deeper. You need to understand these are the little things you need to pick up.
Yep. Well, let's see. Continued chess match as the game goes on.
Yes.
The score is going to get out of hand here as it goes on. So I think that's going to get them out of some of it.
Much better there.
Yeah, I was going to say, there you go.
Two back options a lot easier to defend anyway. Especially the way they just ran that. Yeah. Now they should have did the action the other way, and they would have had something. 26 should have went to the left.
I wouldn't mind the quarterback keeping that right there either.
Yeah, especially if 26 does the dive fake the other way.
I mean, he's got
instead of being the arc block.
See, like right here, he's got 77. Just cut that thing.
Oh no. Go hit your head on the goalpost, son.
Yeah.
Physical with the receiver at the top of the route,
Yeah. Yeah. Like that.
getting his hands on him.
Not just letting guys run.
Yep. Understanding his assignment. Looks like he can pick him up and put him down to carry that guy.
See that wide receiver safety background. A little
Uh-huh.
bigger than he was in high school.
But
Listed at two.
also very important in this league because of the size of the tight ends.
Yep. I mean, that's you got some serious matchups
Yeah.
tight end in the NFL.
Yeah, Utah said you're gonna line up in that single back nonsense. We're gonna bring heat,
Yeah, enough of that.
especially on first down.
Yeah. They said, oh, okay.
You wanna do this again? Nah. I like the blitz.
Let's see. I saw when he was coming through, he paused for a minute. Oh, okay. I thought the ball was coming out, maybe.
I think he might have thought maybe screen because the way that the guard kind of checked down.
Yeah.
He's like, let me make sure.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's 14-0. Things might be getting
Well,
away.
Oregon can't get anything going on the outside. These corners are just saying nope.
So they came back to that gap scheme. He's gonna get those two pullers at him again.
Fit. I like it.
Yeah. And you can see he kind of throws off the guard, the
Yeah.
first pull, because he turns back looking at Lloyd like, oh. Like, too late for that, brother.
Uh-huh. And he's using his hands. He's not
Yeah.
getting skinny and trying to avoid contact.
Like if the guard just keeps going, he knows he's got a puller coming behind him. If he just keeps going up to one and let that second guy block Lloyd, they might have a little something here. But
Yeah, but linemen are taught first thing it flashes.
color, first color, yeah.
First color flashes, and that flashed.
Flash. But he was late. He's like,
He was
oh,
late. But I think if he doesn't get Lloyd there, I think Lloyd makes that tackle in the backfield.
yeah, can't block anything behind you, so there ain't no sense in turning back.
Oh, we chased. Got lucky.
Yeah. Because yeah, they could have hit that thing in behind him.
That's the inverted, like what they used to call the NCAA, but they do it to the trip side now.
So right there, that tight end. I don't know if he's a tight end, but that guy in behind him, right at about the 35.
Yep.
Ball's already coming out at that point.
Let's see the end zone view. See if he peeped the guy.
But you know why that looked familiar to me? And I'm not trying to throw shade because you know he's my guy. We've seen teams hit Patrick Queen with that combo a couple times with that route combination.
It's murder on a linebacker who didn't know what's going on.
Because Queen would do exactly that. He'd go chase that under, and then that is it 19 that gets in behind?
Yeah.
Gets in behind him. And that's what they want you to do. I mean, it's just mesh, but they want you to chase that cheese underneath, and then they want to throw that dig or post.
Yeah, if the quarterback had a little more patience.
Frosser, I guess it's based just a basic.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. If quarterback holds that, and it's getting tight in that pocket. I understand. He's getting the ball. Like,
Here's the thing, though. He stayed with his reads and his keys, but once they go empty, you really just have to like spot drop to a sense. You just drop back and kind of figure it out from there. And he's reading. First drag, you leave it alone. Second one, you're supposed to close. Well, normally they don't have a third guy digging behind you.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one. Like I said, I've seen, and in the NFL, they throw that ball to that guy behind you.
Quarterback's willing to stand in there and take the shot.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, he went to the other side. He was ready. If he had come, if the quarterback to this left side, he was ready, baby.
Yes.
Over. He saw that over coming. He's like, please throw it here.
Please throw it over.
Because he's sitting on that thing and ready to go get it. And still almost had something on the tip ball.
My question is, why did he open to the boundary?
Was that the strength? No. Yeah, no. I don't know. That's a good question. What did he see? Quarterback didn't. I mean, I guess quarterback did. His shoulders are kind of pointed that way, I guess. Not like drastically, but
yeah. Getting a little he was guessing a little bit on that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say he might have been anticipating something.
Yeah.
Let's see if
which
we
is
see.
fine. I like it because he's thinking.
Yeah. Quarterback. Yeah. A little bit.
He was thinking maybe screen because the way the running back kind of slid.
You're right, because he's going that way even before quarterback hits the top of his drop, I think.
Yeah.
Like there. He's already going. So I think you're right. He's reading that O-line movement, the back. Yeah, I think you're right. But he was ready to come back and get that over. Throw that thing in there. It'll be another pick six. You already got one. 20-0. All right. Not looking good.
Yeah.
For Oregon.
So he should be opening to the top of the field. Cover 2. Oh, why are we okay, the running quarterback's out of the pocket. Good.
Yeah. He stayed pretty square on that.
Yeah.
Not too much. He kind of was hanging in there a little bit. Yeah, he's kind of hanging.
Yeah, 18 didn't get a free release, so he can
sit there a little bit. Oh, he picked it up.
Yeah. The corner got it.
What are you doing, quarterback?
I'm still trying to figure out where he's trying to throw this football.
Oh, he must not have seen that corner at all. He was right there. He turned his back for a minute.
That's probably why he threw it.
Yeah.
I told you, these Utah corners, I take one of them in the third round.
23-0.
These guys have not let Oregon breathe on the outside.
Okay. He tripped him up. That's where that wingspan comes in. He's taller.
He is a lanky dude.
Yeah. Because this is probably going to get out the gate a little bit. If he doesn't right there. Just get enough of that dude.
Yeah. So
now NFL back's going to run through that, but
here's his issue as a linebacker, as both linebackers did this. You can't continue to go sideways. You have to now one press, but then he decided to jump around the block. He was much better, but Lloyd, He can be a little more physical at the point of attack. He could have helped his tackle, because if he engages quicker, then 74 has to get off.
It's got to come off. You got to take
Got to
that
come
hurt.
off quicker. So then 76 can't continue to push him. Run defense, doing the dance.
Yeah, like you said, he's kind of still shuffle sliding. You
Yeah,
come and take that combo off.
he's only gained maybe a yard on the line of scrimmage on the entire, before that running back breaks. So he's got to close the gap.
Yeah. Unfortunately, another thing we've seen some of. I don't want to turn it into a negative thing on PQ.
But you see the difference between playing linebacker in 4 years and playing linebacker for a year.
Yeah, definitely.
Much better there.
Yeah.
Recognizes that it's a run play and that hole is huge. So I'm going to go fill it. Love it.
And you just see him and one just consistently talking to each other before the snap with motion shifts, just checking with each other.
I mean, they've basically run a 4-2-5. So linebackers got to constantly communicate.
Yeah, he likes to get a piece of those dudes. He doesn't let people just run free through his yeah.
The best zone teams get the most flags.
He's gonna get a hand on you coming.
Yeah, we will tug on something. We will spin you around.
This might have been a little hip check. No, he got a little hand, just a little hand.
Yeah, a little bit, just to nudge him. Just
something.
That's what they talk about on defense with active hands. Not talking about in the line of scrimmage being active. I'm talking in the top of routes. I'm talking in crossing routes. Like, just, you don't even have to like move guys. Just mess with them.
Yeah.
Like, hit their jersey. Like, grab a towel. Just active hands, so they're always worried, always wondering if it's going to be a tip ball or am I going to get pushed off my route. That's what New England was so good about when they went up against the Rams, the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
They just put hands on them anywhere and everywhere. They walk out of the huddle. They probably stand there. They push them. Yeah. They went over to get a drink of water. They probably pushed them into the water cooler.
Those guys are trying to avoid contact. They don't want to get hit.
No. Push them. Smack them in the head. And that's the funny part. Like, people get mad at personal fouls. 9 times out of 10, defensive coordinator ain't gonna be mad if it was understood. Yeah, I guess the best way to put it.
Yeah, if it's aggression versus being stupid.
Yes. Now, I'm not advocating taking cheap shots on quarterbacks.
They play dirty.
No. I'm saying that. But a half a second after the whistle, I'll take that one if it's a good
one. This is a pet peeve for me. I don't like these lunges.
No, bring your feet.
Yeah, not a big fan of that action right there.
Bring your feet. You're getting tired.
He tripped over his own guy. A little bit of, I get it.
But also he's guessing again because he has C gap all the way out there. But then the tight end turned out, so then he overran it. Yeah, you can fix that.
Kind of jump. Yeah, you can fix that. Just those.
Just attack the line of scrimmage and not get over the top so quickly. Go get it. There you go. Good play call.
That's about the only one that they've had some success with. Those quick ones out on the perimeter. That stuff down the field ain't really worked.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
sure.
also they pull both guards, so now the linebacker has to trigger.
Yeah,
It's a well designed play.
yeah, we've seen it. See the Ravens run something similar.
If the quarterback just flips it out there with no line pull, the linebacker's going to make the play.
Sure, they don't have anything to hold them inside.
Nope.
The 23-0. Okay, Oregon trying to get on the board here.
Both teams check out of what they got called. Just play recognition is too slow. A lot of this can be fixed with his feet. I just need him to quiet his feet a little bit. His feet are a little too noisy. Queen's feet are ridiculously like tap feet. Like he's a tap dancer. He's got much calmer feet, so it's going to be even easier to calm him down. I think Queen is going having a new inside linebacker coach who concentrates on the basics, the fundamentals, will help Queen tremendously.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, having Zach Orr, a guy who's played in this defense.
He played at Wisconsin too, so Mr. Fundamental, that's all they did for 6 weeks in the snow. It's like Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental. Let's do this. Good ball.
Okay. Thought they was going to get on the board. Nope. Yeah,
I like what I see. There's a lot of talent there.
Yeah, and it's just a different body type than what they've got inside. I mean, Harrison similar, big, even bigger. Harrison's even bigger than Lloyd, but I'm hoping he gets kind of a clean slate.
I believe he will.
Going into 2022.
I don't think Drew Wilkins or Rob Ryan knew what to do with Harrison. To be honest, I'm not sure what Drew Wilkinson was doing with the outside linebackers, but Tyus Bowser's talent, made Drew Wilkins look better.
Well, he'd been around for some great dudes like Sizzle. You know what I mean? He had some dudes.
Well, that's the issue though. Some of these cats you see on their resume, they did these all pros 10 years ago. But everything's changed. Defensive changed. Offensives have changed. And when you typecast guys into certain roles, particularly on defense, you get the results that you got the last couple of years. Now, for the life of me, I do not understand, after you use Bowser in a way to shut down, literally, was it the Denver game or where he literally rushed the quarterback, played pass defense on the tight end, and then, made another play, in 3 separate plays, to stop the game, and they won the game. It might have even been the Colts game. It was the Colts game.
Yeah, you're right. That was the Colts game. The close.
And he never used him like that for the rest of the season. Like, that's mismanagement of talent.
Well, we're gonna get a clean start here in 2022.
That is true.
They parted ways with Wink, and there was a lot of speculation that they were probably, that Drew Wilkins was probably going to follow him, and it took a little while for it to be reported. Who knew? Who knows when it was actually decided internally? It took a little while for it to be reported publicly, but
yeah, I love how Lloyd talks on the field, always pointing, always talking, understands route combinations. Always looking for work.
Yeah. But to your point, another thing we were talking about him and Queen, and remember how I was saying that Lloyd, he played for more years in college than Queen did. But I was looking back at just some of the comparison of the numbers. And yeah, it was crazy. Like I told that Lloyd had like almost 800 coverage snaps, right? And up there in Utah, Queen had less than 500. So just in coverage, right? And that's an area that a lot of people have kind of been on Queen. I've been down on Queen about like, oh, he's not good in coverage. It just hasn't had enough reps at it.
I mean, think about that though. And of those 300 less pass snaps he's getting, or whatever that number is, how many of those pass snaps are generally drop snaps and not him running to get a swing pass and just standing there spying?
Yeah. And the bulk of those came in that last year, that 2019 year. He had 393. Before that, he had 92 in 2018 and 3 in 2017. So, he was coming from a long way.
It takes a few years.
Yeah. So you could see that year that he got a lot more run, you could see the talent. But then to go from that, really having 1 year of playing, significant amount of snaps to coming into the NFL. And then he came in, during that COVID year, like the first COVID year.
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is,
Yeah. Mr. Lloyd here using his hands very effectively.
There we go.
They don't teach those things in Oklahoma.
No. Do we gotta keep going back to my boy?
We hadn't talked to him in a couple of years.
I don't understand why we got to do that. That seems unnecessary. That doesn't seem necessary. Okay, you just watch. You watch what happens.
Oh my goodness!
He had 100 tackles. He had that the first year. I knew that was gonna happen. So he gonna get 100 tackles. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
he had some injuries.
When you run around, don't touch anybody. Yeah, you're gonna make 111 tackles.
Hey, don't throw them shoulders.
Got to protect yourself at all times.
You're just gonna run into people like a missile.
And if I miss, I miss.
Hey, got a bunch of dudes out here. It's 11 guys. It's not just me.
Yeah. Look at him. I love the pass coverage.
Yeah, very smooth.
Understanding routes.
Very smooth in the drop. Watch him open and flip.
Look. There's another guy. I'm gonna roll with him.
I'm good. And you can see that safety background in that, right? That's a little bit of some of those safety skills. Because you see that in the combine drill. That's a combine drill right there.
Oh, yeah.
Where they take you with the ball. They're like, all right, open. Now turn.
He was just too physically gifted as a playmaker to keep him at wide receiver. Yeah. And then he just grew out of being a safety.
Safety, yeah. Too big. He said his favorite player was he was at high school, Cam Chancellor.
He's got the body type. I mean, if they play that rover spot, he'd be very good at it.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. This is a 2021 game, but if you go back to 2019, he played rover in their defense, in this Utah defense. That was his spot. They moved him to Mike, but he played his first role was rover.
Yeah, you find yourself a healthy run stopper, at your mic and leave him at your rover, be very hard to get outside on them.
Yeah, because he's built like that.
Uh-huh.
Now Cam, NFL Cam. I'm not gonna compare a guy coming out of college to
No.
NFL
But
champ.
same body type, a little more athletic than Cam.
Yeah, Cam was an enforcer,
He
capital E.
just understood his assignment
Yeah.
and let it just. I will clean up all the mess. Earl, you enjoy your car washes and you pick up all the tips.
Another little pass rush. He works a little inside move on the is it tight end or is it tackle? He ends up getting. Let's see, tackle.
Yeah,
A little
he's
bit.
he's got a little basketball background.
Yeah,
That was a little basketball move right there.
yeah. He did play. Did play
Yeah,
basketball as well.
kids, play two sports. Play two sports.
We'll hear about that, I guess, next week when we watch Dean, another guy, played football, basketball, and ran track. So,
Yeah. I mean, I played 3 sports in high school. I played baseball, basketball, and football. And then one year I did play lacrosse instead of basketball. That lacrosse year was like more valuable than anything.
Hey, one of the greatest NFL players of all time was a 2-time All-America in lacrosse, Jim Brown.
Yeah. It teaches you how to use your hands and your feet.
It looks hard as hell.
It is physically you have to be in top-notch shape to do that all day, every day. Like, there's no question about it. But going through the practices and learning how to use my feet to get in position and not use my hands, but then use my hands when I get in position, just translated into playing linebacker. Because your feet got to get there first before your hands. And if your feet are not in play, your hands are all they're going to be doing is reaching and grabbing. We saw that all year with people who couldn't tackle.
Gets another little rush here. Or blitz, probably. Oh.
I gotta be a little. I need you to just go through his chin, just one good time.
You don't like the hezzy?
No. Go through his chin, because the next time he gonna be looking for it. Then the hezzy work is gonna work.
Then you get the hezzy.
Go run through his chest the first time. Pop him up. He'll be like, "Oh, you gonna do that?" And he gonna sit back, and then you give him the 1-2 drumstick chicken wing.
Give him the 2-piece. Give him the 2-piece. Yeah, at this point, Oregon is kind of conceded.
Yeah, they're kind of running out the squad, and I don't even. He's back here playing.
He's on the edge. He's outside tight end.
Yeah, he's just sitting there, setting the edge. It's like, now, I'm done running with you guys.
Yeah, 38 nothing.
Yeah.
And they still got 9 minutes left. So
I think we've seen plenty.
You're good. All right.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to be a little bit more of
just running zones and him running down people.
Yeah, I think we're good too. Let me get us back up here. All right. So your impressions. It's only one game, and we know, it takes more than one game to really get a thorough feel for somebody. But just based on that one game, what do you think?
He understands concepts. He understands route combination. He understands zone. Seems like a physical football player. Smart. He's a little quick. A little too quick to pull the trigger, which is okay. He tends to guess every once in a while, which is fine. You don't want to get caught too much guessing, but as a linebacker, you do it. It's a necessary evil that we all live with as linebackers. But I'm impressed with his ability to run the football, to use his hands, and make plays. And he seemed to show all that on display in one of the biggest stages, which is a double check
Mhm.
because he went out there and balled out in a Pac-10 championship with everything on the line. That's what do they call them? Red Star type
Yeah.
players for the Ravens.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's heading up in that direction.
Be your best when your best is required. And
Yes.
not just, a guy who was just out there. And even if he was out there and just doing his job, and you would have said, okay. But to make a play, took one to the house,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
I enjoyed it. That was
That was good.
that was old school, new school meshed together linebacker play that you don't see very often.
I wanted you to have a clean look, and I'm glad when we talked about it, you said, no, I don't want to see them beforehand. I'll just watch them. I'll go in blind, go in cold, and just see what I thought. And I figured you would like him. I was like, I think the North's gonna like this guy because he does. There's a little bit of a throwback kind of feel to his game. That, you know. Now when we see N'Kobe Dean next week, a little bit of a different deal. And you might have seen some of that because it's from the SEC championship game. So you probably watched it on TV. But
I only watched I didn't watch very much of the championship game. I wasn't
okay.
so I saw a couple plays that were on the on Sports Center in terms of him being a leader and things on that sort. But other than that, watching a full game, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, now they got ballers everywhere on that defense. So
and that's what you have to take into account as a scout is talent around you. Like you look at Utah, you can tell there's not a lot of talent,
not Georgia talent.
No, but a very sound and a very together defense.
Yep,
which showcases
like that too.
The corners and their linebacker play because that's the strength of their team.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that too. They are, they play together. They don't have to do a whole lot of gimmicky kind of stuff, So that seems to always win out over time. Like the stuff that maybe is gimmicks probably too strong of a word, but
schemed.
Scheme. We got to do more stuff. That can have its moments, but it's like over time that sort of gets exposed, I think.
Yes.
Whereas just good sound, fundamental defense, we talk about all the time with the NFL teams like the Bills. It's just gonna now look. They had a crazy game, right? With the Chiefs, that was a crazy game.
Yeah.
But still, that style of defense tends, in my opinion, and you've said it all season long, it stands the test of time.
Indeed.
Because at a certain point, it's like you always say, you're just gonna have to line up and play football. Like when all the games and all the tricks, we done ran out of all of that. We got
in the fourth quarter. What you going to? I know what we were going to at JMU. Base zone auto. Go to work. Go to work. Like we all knew what we doing because he'll play football.
I can see you over there looking at Mickey Matthews.
Lord help us. That dude. Oh, we could do an entire show. I could, we could reach out to some old JMU people, old JMU football guys, and literally have a revolving door of stories. And then they would validate everything I've told you about this man. And some stories I probably don't even know about fully. I was around a lot of them. Around a lot of them.
Hey, we really just are beginning like the off season. We got a lot of off season left. So who knows? We might get to a show like that. We have some the way I reminisce over you show.
Bring your stories.
Back in the day. All right, well, hey, everybody out there on the live stream, appreciate you tapping in. hey, look, if any of you were out there trying to comment, I screwed something up with the comments because I was
Wow.
over here watching. And I was like, how come I'm not seeing no comments? And there's some kind of error message over here. I didn't want to click on it. I was like, might shut down the whole stream or something. So I'm just gonna leave it there. And
We're still work in progress over here.
still work in progress. But hey, here's the good news. Here's good news. Even though you weren't maybe able to get your comment in, these things are automatically available like as soon as we end the broadcast. So you can always go back and watch it, right? And then if you want to tweet at us a comment or question or anything, I know it's after the fact, but you can still get it in that way.
Yep.
So I'm
Yep.
gonna get here. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna figure out what I did. Because first we did this last week and it was fine. Comments were coming up and I was putting them up on the screen. And then I don't know. I did something different this week. But
Yeah,
anyway,
well, maybe because we were running a video.
yeah, that's a good point. We didn't have that last time. That's good.
Right.
Think about that. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Hey, as usual, thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We're gonna keep churning out content as we go through the off season because I mean, look, there's always stuff to talk about. There's always things to think about, and I don't know about the schedule per se. It might not be like the season where we've got stuff going on because there's games every week. But we trying to stay fresh. We trying to
Yeah.
stay out there and keep things going. So
Keep it current. Keep it as current as we can. After we talk about Mr. Dean next week, maybe we'll just start at that point. We'll really start diving into maybe Mr. McDonald at a more of an in-depth.
Yeah, because we got a couple of those games. We got a couple of those games that we can
Yep.
look through too and kind of see what his guys were doing out there. So, hey, one thing we learned at the beginning of this thing, it beats watching the news. Tap in with us and just enjoy yourself, right?
Yes.
Pressed. Put yourself in a bad frame of mind because whatever's going on out there in the real world, you got your whole rest of your time to deal with that. Come, lock in with us and just sit back and enjoy, right? So appreciate y'all. Till the next time, y'all be good. We are out of here.